So, hi, this is Dr. Ferreira from FUE Hair Transplants Toronto, and I'm here with Paul Smith, our hair transplant specialist and consultant, and also here with Paul. And the reason we brought Paul in today is he came in for follow-up, and we wanted to demonstrate a couple things. First of all, Paul looks great. Secondly, he's 47 years old, and I think that's going to factor into our description of this case. So Paul had one transplant done, how many years ago roughly? First one, about 11 years ago. At that time, the technology was a little different. We couldn't get as much grafts in one sitting, and some of the spacing of the grafts also was a little bit bigger. So he came back to us, and what he wanted was to thicken up the hairline and make the hairline a little bit more dense and go down the middle and fill up some of the empty spaces. You'll be able to see some of the before pictures and the areas that we concentrated on, but basically we concentrated on all this here, and also thickening up and fixing the hairline as well to make it look more natural and thicker. And I'm going to comb through before we show the hairline. I just want to do this, and I want to say, so this is basically everything on top of Paul's head at this point is transplant. Yep. Right.
He would be completely bald.
He would be completely bald. Now I'm going to comb through like this, and hopefully Paul can get the right camera angles just to show how natural the transplant is. This is what I would call very nice density. And I think for a 47-year-old gentleman who would otherwise essentially have no or very little hair on top of his head, this is a really nice result. So he came to us a year ago, so this is pretty close to full growth, and this entire area, as you'll see in some of the before pictures, was quite thin, and we filled that in. The technology exists now to be able to go in between hairs quite well. For most people, we can successfully plant hairs in between hairs and improve density.
So this is just a close-up of a comb through of the transplant. Down.
So you can even see that this little corner here, this is also all transplant. This would be significantly recessed in here, and it was designed this way. And I think it's a helpful comment to say that this particular transplant was designed with this gentleman's age in mind, his overall look. He actually made the suggestion to us. He doesn't want to try to look 18. He wants to look really good for his age, which he really does.
This is otherwise, for those guys who know what I'm about to say, he would really be a Norwood 5, maybe a Norwood 4. Maybe there's a little bit of his own hair right here, but all of this is hair transplant. This is, now here's what we do, guys, in 2013, and I want you to take a look and go look at any other videos. You tell me that this does not look, on the right guy, like a full head of hair.
So, what you can, again, this is all transplant. So I'm parting through here.
Tilt your head up more.
And
look up the ceiling there, Paul.
Paul Smith, our consultant here, is trying to make sure that everybody gets a realistic look of what is possible. Yes, of course, this is fine hair. If this was thicker caliber hair, it would look a little bit thicker. Still, you can still see the scalp at points, and that's normal, by the way. It's almost impossible to get like a thick wall hair, but look how beautiful and natural this looks. Now, we did go all the way back, and so right up to here is still transplant in the crown area, and right up to right about there. So the nose is up here, the back of his head, he has his head tilted back. I'm combing through to show the transplant, and no matter how I comb it, I just want people to see that it still looks 100% natural. And we went from right here, which is the front of his hairline, to right here, which is the vertex, to right up. So this right there, we just went right up into there. There's a little bit of transplant here as well, and this is all transplant.
The before, right post-transplant. So that was the density he had prior. That's how he looked prior, and this is how he looks now. You can't fake that.